Okay, so I did go see A Star Is Born. It is everything that it has been built up to be. Event of the summer, go see it, bring your grandma. You're all going to love it for the whole family. But there are a couple of things that you should probably keep in mind before you go. First off, it is a traditional musical. Like, it's not just when they're singing a song in the context of the narrative. There are also songs that they sing about how they feel right now and about how they love each other and about how they hate each other, which is a really important part halfway through when Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga get really, really angry because Bradley Cooper got into some chocolates that Lady Gaga was saving for her mom. I don't want to give away the entire plot, but a lot of it does hinge on those chocolates. Bradley Cooper doesn't listen to Lady Gaga enough, and she said, "Hey, I made these chocolates specifically for my mom. It's she's on her deathbed. It's the last thing she wants." But he eats them all, and he goes out to buy some new chocolates, and he doesn't have money. It doesn't feel like a ripoff, but they definitely just stole it from the Christmas shoes. The fact that it takes place in the future does not come into effect in the plot at all, ever. It's just there. The majority of this film takes place in the year 2148. Some of it takes place in 1969 when they go back in time to visit Woodstock, but that is 10 minutes of this overall plot. At one point, Alden Ehrenreich shows up, but he's only there for 5 minutes, and it's why did you pay him to show up for this? He's supposed to be the young up-and-comer, the D'Artagnan of this band. And he's like, "Hey, I want to join your guys' band." And they're like, "No freaking way, Alden. You're not allowed in this band." So he just sadly shuffles off, and they drive away. That's it for him. The main villain of this piece is this evil capitalist. They don't tell you what he does, but you know he's wealthy, and that just, that makes him evil. He wants to capture them and, use the power of their music to destroy friendship. He's got this huge monologue where he's like, "I am the enemy of friendship, and only the power of some righteous tunes can destroy friends forever." And it's really, really, sad. Because he wins. No one has friends anymore. We all either hate each other or are indifferent to each other. That's all you've got. Bill and Ted do not make an appearance, but you'd think they would. And especially because they keep hinting at it, where they're like, "Oh yeah, my friends, Bill and Ted," but they never show up. And they literally mention them by name. Keanu Reeves is in the movie. Whatever. I have not explored the fact that their names are in fact Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper in the movie. Switched from what you'd expect. So at the climax of the movie, Bradley Cooper has his neck on the throat of the evil capitalist right after he's won, right after the capitalist has destroyed friendship. And he goes, "You have to die now." And Lady Gaga's like, No, we can't let him die. We have to give him the chance to redeem himself. He everybody deserves a second chance. And he says, "No one deserves a first chance." Pow pow. And Lady Gaga, at this point, so filled with rage, lifts up Bradley Cooper by the hair on the back of his head, and she smashes him into this big drum of acid, which drums of acid just sit around in the future. That's not the movie's call, that's just science, and they were sticking to science. She shoves his face into this vat of acid, and he comes out, and he's like, "What have you done to me? What have you done to my beautiful sun-kissed face? I must go into the shadows." That's pretty much the only time they actually hinted at being the Phantom of the Opera prequel. In this one, he was born very attractive, and was disfigured. I think that positing it as a Phantom of the Opera prequel was probably a bad idea. Especially given the fact that kind of the point of Phantom of the Opera is that Christine and the Phantom have no real prior relationship. That doesn't really work if she already knows him and was there for the act of his disfigurement. I think it was odd that they decided to kick the movie off by playing a sizzle reel of highlights from all of the previous versions of A Star is Born. They could have just dived right into the movie they're telling, but I guess they had to pay respects to the fact that this is a very storied movie to make. But they do. They start with this whole sizzle reel of like everybody's favorite moments from all the previous versions. I would not have personally set it to Disturbed's version of Land of Confusion, but they did. I guess the idea there is that that's a cover of a song, but they could have just used a cover of perhaps a more appropriate song. So I sat all the way through the credits, figuring, hey, maybe they're going to set up a big franchise. They don't. They just show you a black screen for a little bit, and you're like, oh, I guess they're not doing a post-credit scene. Interesting. And then boom! The Nun.